This is the secret no one ever told you. You've been led to believe that changing your life is about doing more. More affirmations, more vision boards, more routines. You've been told if you say the right words, feel the right things, and follow the right steps, you'll finally manifest what you desire. But here's the truth. It's not what you do. It's who you are. Your entire life is a reflection of one thing, your internal frequency. In the next few minutes, you'll uncover how to stop chasing techniques and instead activate the vibration that reshapes your relationships, your wealth, your health, even the way people treat you. By the end of this video, you won't just understand energy, you'll become it. If you're ready, type 777 in the comments. That's your signal to the universe and to yourself that today you shift. Part 1. The hidden code behind your reality. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. Scene 1. The mirror you never noticed. Picture this. You wake up, glance at your phone, and immediately feel that familiar tug, the weight of your to-do list, the notifications, the subtle background noise of not enough yet. You haven't even left the bed, and already the day feels like it owns you. Now pause, because that moment right there isn't just a morning routine. It's a reflection. Your external world, it's mirroring something far more important than your calendar. It's mirroring your internal state. Not your words, not your goals, but your frequency. And most people go their entire lives chasing the mirror, not realizing they're the ones holding the frame. Scene 2. You were trained to chase from childhood. You were trained to chase outcomes. Work hard, say the right things, think positively, stay busy, fix yourself, earn it, wait for it. You were handed a playbook written by people who themselves were reacting to fear, lack, and survival. And so the path became mechanical. Write 10 affirmations, visualize success, repeat your mantras, hustle, grind, repeat. But here's what nobody told you. It's not what you do that shapes your life. It's the state you're in when you do it. Read that again, because this changes everything. Scene 3. Frequency isn't woo, it's physics. Let's get real. This isn't metaphysical poetry or law of attraction fluff. This is resonance. This is physics. Everything in the universe vibrates at a frequency. Your emotions, your thoughts, your posture, your tone of voice, they're not just moods. They are measurable energetic states. And just like a radio receiver can only pick up a station if it's tuned to the same frequency, your life can only reflect back what you're currently broadcasting. If you're tuned to the frequency of scarcity, no matter how many positive thoughts you stack on top, you're still in scarcity. You can say, I am abundant all day long, but if your frequency is, I'm still not enough, that's what the universe hears. That's what life reflects. Scene 4. The real driver, your subconscious signal. Here's the silent architect of your reality, your subconscious programming. It's the part of your mind you're not consciously aware of, but it's shaping 95% of your daily behavior, reactions, decisions, and emotional states. And it was mostly programmed before you were 7 years old. That's not just psychology. That's the blueprint of your entire energetic pattern. If you grew up around lack, around emotional withdrawal, around constant proving, you're likely running those scripts right now. You might not remember the exact moments, but your frequency does. Because frequency isn't about memory, it's about energy retention. The wound may be subconscious, but the signal is loud. Scene 5. Why life keeps repeating? Ever wonder why the same type of people keep showing up in your life? Why the same problems resurface no matter how hard you try to fix them? Why, despite your best efforts, you seem stuck in a loop? Here's the truth. You're not attracting people or situations. You're attracting vibrational matches. Let's break it down. If you believe deep down that you're not fully worthy of love, you'll unconsciously magnetize partners who confirm that. If your emotional body is tuned to life is hard, then ease, flow, and abundance will feel foreign, and you'll subconsciously push them away. If you've normalized struggle, success will trigger your nervous system. This is why willpower isn't enough. This is why mindset hacks don't stick. Because until you change the signal, you'll keep hearing the same static. Scene 6. Thoughts versus frequency. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think their thoughts create their reality, but in truth, it's your vibrational state that does. And your thoughts, they're simply an extension of that state. Your inner frequency filters which thoughts even get through to you. Let's say you're in a high vibrational state, grounded, peaceful, open. Your thoughts naturally lean toward creativity, possibility, and trust. Now shift your frequency to anxiety, shame, or fear. Suddenly your thoughts spiral. The world seems hostile. You can't see clearly. Even opportunities start to look like threats. The shift in vibration comes first. The thoughts just follow suit. Scene 7. You can't fake energy. This is critical. You can't fake energy. People can feel you before they understand you. Situations respond to you based on what you're radiating, not what you're saying. You've probably experienced this. Ever walked into a room where someone hadn't said a word, but the energy was heavy? Or talked to someone who claimed they were fine, but something in your gut said otherwise? That's frequency, and it doesn't lie. Which means if you're operating in misalignment, trying to appear confident while feeling inadequate, trying to speak abundance while carrying lack, your frequency overrides your language, and the universe responds to the truth, not the mask. Scene 8. Identity is frequency. Here's a powerful shift. You don't just have a frequency, you are a frequency. And that frequency is built on identity, not just who you believe you are, but who you've decided you're not. Identity is not just mindset, it's embodiment. It's how you walk into a room, it's how you speak to yourself, it's how you breathe under pressure, it's how you hold eye contact with your dreams. Your energy introduces you before you do. And until you decide to embody the identity of the version of you that already has what you want, your vibration will stay tethered to the past. So ask yourself, what identity am I defending? Who have I been unwilling to become? Scene 9. The life you want already exists. Here's the twist that blows open this entire idea. The life you want doesn't need to be created. It already exists. Let that land. Quantum physics shows us that every possibility already exists in the field. Every version of you, happy, fulfilled, abundant, in love, is already somewhere on the vibrational spectrum. So manifestation isn't about creating something new. It's about tuning in to what's already there. It's about becoming the version of you that lives on that frequency. That means stop focusing on getting there. Start focusing on being there, in energy, in emotion, in identity. Scene 10. The trap of external proof. Here's the mistake that keeps people stuck. They wait for external proof before shifting their frequency. They say, I'll feel abundant once I have the money. I'll feel confident when someone chooses me. I'll trust once life gives me a sign. But here's the paradox. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. Until you feel abundant without money, until you feel lovable without validation, until you feel safe without guarantees. You're not matching the frequency of the life you want. You're matching the frequency of waiting. And the universe responds with more waiting. Scene 11. Awareness is the gateway. So what now? How do you actually shift into a new frequency? It begins with awareness. Awareness of your internal dialogue, the emotional signature you carry most often, the stories you've normalized but never questioned. You don't change what you can't see, and most of your current vibration is running in the background, like a forgotten playlist looping old songs. Once you become aware, you interrupt the pattern. And that moment of interruption, that's the moment your frequency opens up to something new. Scene 12. A simple daily practice. Let's bring this down to earth. Here's a simple practice that will change your frequency if done consistently. 1. Pause each morning before grabbing your phone, before checking anything external. Just sit, breathe, and ask, what am I radiating today? 2. Name your current state. No judgment, just clarity. Am I in gratitude or pressure? Am I in faith or fear? 3. Shift through sensation. Your body is your tuning fork. Close your eyes, feel into the version of you that already has peace. Breathe that state into your cells. 4. Speak from alignment. Use language that comes from being, not from lack. Instead of I want, say I allow. Instead of someday, say now. Do this for 7 days and observe, not the world, your response to it. That's where the shift begins. Scene 13, the invisible broadcast. Every day you're broadcasting a signal, not through your words, not through your clothes, through your vibration, and that signal is what writes the story of your life. So the question isn't, what do I want? The question is, who am I being right now? What am I radiating in this moment? What is my frequency asking life to reflect back? Because when your frequency shifts, life has no choice but to follow. This is how you stop chasing change and start becoming the cause of it. If this message resonated, if something clicked even slightly, drop a 777 in the comments. Not for me, for you, as a signal, as a declaration, as a turning point, because now the real shift begins. Part 2, why affirmations fail and how to make them work. Words without energy are just noise. Scene 1, the grand lie of positive thinking. Let's start with the truth most gurus won't tell you. You can say, I am confident every morning. You can write, I am wealthy 55 times in a notebook. You can visualize your dream life in vivid detail. But if your body still carries the feeling of fear, lack, or unworthiness, none of it sticks. Why? Because words spoken from misalignment don't create resonance. They create resistance. This is where most people get stuck. They think manifestation is about repeating the right words like a magic spell. But in reality, affirmations don't work unless your frequency is aligned. And that's what no one told you. You don't manifest from your lips, you manifest from your state. Scene 2, affirmations versus frequency. Let's clarify something. Affirmations are tools, but tools are only as effective as the hand using them. If your affirmation is, I am love, but your nervous system is tight with abandonment, if your affirmation is, I am abundant, but your gut churns every time you open your bank app, then what you're really affirming beneath the surface is, this is not who I am yet. The subconscious mind doesn't follow words, it follows feeling. And if your words and feelings are in conflict, the feeling wins. Every single time. That's why most affirmations don't fail because they're wrong. They fail because they're hollow. Scene 3, the law of dominant vibration. Here's the principle that overrides all your manifestation efforts. Your dominant vibration is your creative force. It doesn't matter what you say 5 minutes in the morning. What matters is what you feel most of the time. Let's say you meditate for 20 minutes in abundance, but for the next 8 hours you feel anxious, doubtful, stressed, unworthy. Guess which frequency the universe responds to? Your dominant one. Because the universe doesn't tally effort, it reflects energy. So the goal isn't to repeat the right words, it's to shift your baseline emotional state, the default station you live on. That's where the real work is. That's where real change begins. Scene 4, the echo of lack. This is subtle but important. When you speak affirmations from a state of desperation, your energy says, I still don't have it. You might think, I'm declaring a new reality. But energetically, what you're doing is spotlighting the absence. It's like screaming, I'm not hungry while starving. The louder you affirm, the more your subconscious says, if this were really true, we wouldn't need to keep saying it. So what happens? Instead of drawing what you want closer, you push it further away. Not because the affirmation is wrong, but because the vibration is misaligned. And the universe doesn't hear the words. It hears the frequency behind them. Scene 5, the shift from saying to being. Here's where everything changes. Affirmations become powerful only when they stop being statements and start becoming states. The goal isn't to say I am enough 1,000 times. The goal is to feel what enoughness actually feels like in your body. What would change in your breath if you felt safe? How would your shoulders drop if you knew you were fully worthy? What decisions would you make today if you truly trusted your future? That's the difference between repeating affirmations and living them. When the frequency matches the word, reality begins to shift. Scene 6. Creating resonance. Let's break this into something actionable. Here's how to make your affirmations resonate. 1. Pause and feel first. Before you say anything, pause. Drop into your body. Ask, what's my current frequency? Don't try to fake it. Feel it. Be honest. If it's fear, name it. If it's doubt, acknowledge it. Because honesty is your energetic baseline. You can't shift what you refuse to feel. 2. Choose the emotion, not the sentence. Instead of obsessing over the perfect phrase, choose the state you want to create. Ask, what would confidence feel like right now? What does peace feel like in my chest? What sensation would love create in my body? Let the words emerge from that feeling, not the other way around. 3. Make it present. Personal and powerful affirmations are most effective when they're present tense, I am not, I will. Personal, I choose calm today. Sensory rich, I breathe in clarity and feel grounded. This turns your words from mental chatter into vibrational anchors. 4. Repeat until you believe it. The first few times it might feel fake, but that's okay. You're not trying to convince your mind. You're teaching your body a new state. Consistency builds resonance, and resonance becomes reality. Scene 7. The emotional bridge. If you've ever struggled with affirmations feeling fake, here's your tool. Emotional bridging. Let's say you want to affirm, I am financially free, but deep down you feel broke. That's too big a vibrational gap. Instead, try bridging. I am open to feeling more financially supported today. Each day, I feel safer with money. I trust that abundance is on its way, and I am preparing for it. These aren't downgrades. They're transitional states. They meet you where you are and nudge you toward the frequency you desire, because energy doesn't leap, it climbs. Scene 8. The nervous system connection. Here's something few talk about. Your nervous system is your frequency regulator. If your body doesn't feel safe, your affirmations won't land. You could say, I am loved all day, but if your heart rate spikes, your chest tightens, and your gut clenches, your nervous system overrides the message. So how do you integrate the body? Breathe. Slow down your speech. Stretch. Move. Ground. Touch your chest while you speak. Make it embodied. Because only when the body says yes, will the subconscious start to believe it's possible. Scene 9. When affirmations start working. You'll know your affirmations are working when you no longer need them, but enjoy saying them. They stop feeling like effort and start feeling like truth. You act differently even when no one's watching. You begin expecting good things without needing proof. You no longer say them to fix yourself, but to express yourself. The transformation isn't loud, it's subtle. You'll walk through life with a quiet certainty, a calm knowing that this is who I am now. And from that state, life changes naturally. Scene 10. Affirmation as identity declaration. At their highest form, affirmations are not motivational quotes. They are declarations of identity. They say, this is who I choose to be. This is the frequency I live on now. This is no longer a desire. It's a decision. And once your identity shifts, everything else follows. Your decisions change, your boundaries sharpen, your standards rise, your environment adjusts. Your relationships either elevate or dissolve, because now you're radiating a new signal, and life responds accordingly. Scene 11. The power of repetition with resonance. Here's the final key. Repetition doesn't reprogram the mind. Repetition with resonance does. That means don't just say your affirmations. Feel them. Don't just write them down. Live them. Don't just repeat them. Become them. Because once your vibration aligns with your words, you no longer chase reality. Reality comes looking for you. Scene 12. A 5-minute daily practice. Here's your challenge. Try this for the next 7 mornings. Step 1. Sit still for 2 minutes. No phone. Just breathe. Step 2. Ask, what do I want to feel today? Step 3. Pick one affirmation that reflects that feeling. Step 4. Say it out loud, slowly, gently, as if you already believe it. Step 5. Anchor it with sensation. Feel your feet, your chest, your breath. That's not wishful thinking. That's vibrational priming. And once your energy is tuned, watch how your day responds. If something inside you shifted today, drop your personal affirmation in the comments. Let the world hear your frequency. Write it, feel it, live it. Because you're not here to repeat what you've been told. You're here to become what you've always been. And it starts with one aligned word at a time. Part 3. Becoming the frequency you seek. It's not mindset, it's state shift. Scene 1. The illusion of mindset alone. You've been taught to fix your thoughts, to upgrade your mindset, to force positive thinking through every dip and doubt. And yes, the mind is powerful. But here's the truth. Mindset is not the cause. It's the effect. The real engine underneath your life isn't your thoughts. It's the state you're in when those thoughts arise. Ever notice how your mind spirals in fear when your body is tense? Or how it expands effortlessly when you're relaxed, joyful, open? That's because your mental dialogue flows downstream from your emotional state, not the other way around. This isn't about changing what you think. It's about changing what you are. Scene 2. Understanding state. So what exactly is a state? Your state is your overall emotional, physiological, and energetic condition in a given moment. It includes how your body feels, how your breath flows, what emotions you're swimming in, what your nervous system is expecting next. It's the filter through which you experience the world. And here's the kicker. Every decision you make is filtered through the state you're in. When you're in fear, you interpret things as threats. When you're in love, you interpret the same things as opportunities. So the question is never just, what do I think? It's, what state am I operating from? Scene 3. Identity is state on repeat. Your state isn't random. It's patterned. Most of us live in a default state, the emotional climate we've unconsciously practiced for years. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's frustration. Maybe it's anticipation or sadness or pressure. That baseline state, it becomes your identity. And your identity is what tells your subconscious, this is who we are. This is how we feel. This is what we expect. So unless you change the state, the identity doesn't shift. And unless you shift identity, the results stay the same. This is why mindset work alone rarely sticks, because you're trying to plant new seeds in the same old emotional soil. Scene 4. The myth of once I get there. We all do it. Once I get the job, then I'll feel secure. Once I meet the right person, then I'll feel loved. Once I hit the income goal, then I'll feel free. But here's the hard truth. Your external life doesn't give you a new frequency. It mirrors the one you're already in. So waiting to get there before changing your state is like waiting to feel warm before turning on the heater. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are right now. So the real practice is this. Live emotionally, energetically, and behaviorally as the version of you who already has what you seek. And do it before the evidence shows up. That's not pretending. That's creating. Scene 5. What state feels like? Let's bring this down to the body. Ask yourself right now, what does abundance feel like in your shoulders? How does peace affect your breath? What would love do to your posture? This is more than self-awareness. This is state simulation, where you start to imprint the body with a new emotional blueprint. Because if your body doesn't know what it feels like to be safe, loved, successful, free, then those things will always feel unfamiliar. And unfamiliar equals unsafe to your nervous system. That's why people self-sabotage. Not because they're weak, but because they haven't trained their body to feel at home in the state they desire. So the work isn't to just dream it. It's to practice it emotionally until your system learns, this is who I am now. Scene 6. The 4 frequency levers. Let's break down the 4 fastest ways to shift your state, starting today. 1. Breath breathing is the remote control for your nervous system. Slow, deep belly breathing signals safety. Fast, shallow chest breathing signals threat. Want to access a higher frequency? Lengthen your exhale, pause at the bottom, and breathe like someone who already has what you want. 2. Language words shape energy. The way you talk to yourself either keeps you in the old state or leads you into the new one. Notice, I'm trying versus I'm creating, I hope versus I choose, I'm stuck versus I'm shifting. Language doesn't just describe your state, it reinforces it. 3. Posture and movement. Your body is a frequency. How you stand, move, walk, these send a message to your subconscious. Try this. Drop your shoulders, lift your chest. Walk like someone who expects good news. You'll be shocked how quickly this shifts your inner narrative. 4. Emotional rehearsal. Before you speak your affirmation, ask, can I generate the feeling behind it, even if just a little? Let joy bubble up. Let gratitude wash through, even if it's faint. Anchor it. This isn't about faking it. It's about rehearsing a new normal. Scene 7. Why this is hard. Let's be honest. Changing your state is simple, but it's not easy because your nervous system is loyal to the old you. It wants predictable emotions, familiar stress, known disappointments. That's what it's used to regulating. So when you start operating from a new frequency, the old one will scream, "This isn't safe. This isn't real. This isn't you." Don't resist it. Expect it. That's just the echo of your past. It's not your truth. Stay, breathe, choose again. Scene 8. Emotional anchoring. If you want your new state to stick, you need to anchor it. How? Create rituals that remind your body who you are. Examples: a morning playlist that instantly lifts you, a physical gesture, hand over heart, power stance, prayer pose, a scent or object that instantly recenters you, an activation phrase you whisper under your breath, e.g., I walk in truth. These micro cues bypass the conscious mind and go straight to your subconscious saying, this is who I am now. Stack enough of them, and that state becomes your new baseline. Scene 9, the already there practice. Here's a powerful practice. For 3 minutes a day, live as if you were already there. Close your eyes, feel it. See yourself waking up in that reality. Notice how you talk, how you carry yourself, how you think, how you decide. Then open your eyes and stay in that state as long as you can, not to convince yourself, but to become familiar with that energy. The more you do, the more your external world will start to match it. Why? Because the universe doesn't deliver on timelines. It delivers on frequency matches. Scene 10. Environment is feedback, not cause. When you start changing your state, your environment might lag. You'll feel peaceful, but chaos still shows up. You'll feel abundant, but bills still arrive. You'll feel worthy, but rejection still stings. That's okay. Your outer world is not the cause. It's the mirror. It reflects your past state, not your current one. Give it time to catch up. Trust that your new energy is already rewriting your trajectory. Scene 11. Staying there. Anyone can touch a high frequency for a few minutes. The real mastery is staying there, especially when old triggers arise. That's where power lives. When you respond to an old situation in a new way, when you choose calm over chaos, when you breathe instead of break, that's when the new you is being installed. And every time you do, that new state becomes a little more familiar, until one day it's not a stretch anymore. It's your standard. If you felt this in your body today, not just in your mind, let me know in the comments, I choose my state. That's your anchor. That's your declaration. Because from here on out, you're not chasing frequencies. You're becoming them. And this is just the beginning. Part 4. The subconscious saboteur. Why you feel pulled back after a breakthrough. Scene 1. The pattern. You can't explain. You've done the work. You've meditated, visualized, affirmed, shifted your energy. You started feeling different, lighter, clearer, more aligned. And then suddenly, everything starts to crumble. Old emotions return. Unexpected chaos shows up. You start second-guessing, doubting, retreating, and you wonder, did I imagine the progress? Was it all fake? Number, you weren't imagining it. You were expanding. But here's the twist no one tells you. Every breakthrough activates your subconscious sabotage pattern, not because you're broken, but because your subconscious is trying to protect you from the unfamiliar. Let's unpack this. Scene 2. Your subconscious's job is safety, not success. Your subconscious isn't interested in your goals. It doesn't care about your dream life. It isn't wired for expansion. Its one job: keep you alive, keep you familiar, keep you safe. To your subconscious, safe equals known, and unknown equals danger. So when you shift your frequency, when you begin living as the future version of yourself, it doesn't throw a celebration. It sounds the alarm. It whispers, "This isn't who you are. We've never done this before. This feels risky." And without awareness, you'll take that whisper as truth. You'll shrink back, not because the change was wrong, but because the new identity feels unsafe to your old wiring. Scene 3. The snap-back effect. You've probably felt this before. You have a great week, then sabotage it with self-doubt. You attract something amazing, then ghost it out of fear. You commit to a new standard, then suddenly feel exhausted or off. That's the snapback. Like a rubber band, your subconscious stretches just far enough, then recoils to its familiar setting. Why? Because you reached the edge of your identity, and instead of reinforcing it, you hesitated, you questioned, you looked back. This is why lasting change requires more than effort. It requires identity anchoring, a conscious decision to stay in the new vibration, even when the old you starts calling. Scene 4. Your old identity will beg to survive. This might sound strange, but the version of you that lived in fear, scarcity, or anxiety, it doesn't go quietly. It wants to survive. And so it negotiates with you. Just one more day of comfort. Let's wait until we're more prepared. It's safer to stay small. It disguises itself as logic. It dresses up as humility. It speaks in the tone of being realistic. But it's not logic, it's resistance. The most seductive voice of your old self always arrives right after your most expansive choice. So if you feel resistance, congratulations. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. You're threatening your old self's survival. Now it's up to you to decide, do I stay where it's safe, or do I choose who I'm becoming? Scene 5. Familiar pain is safer than unknown. Joy lets go deeper. Your subconscious would rather you feel familiar pain than risk unfamiliar joy. It would rather you be broke but in control, be lonely but not vulnerable, be anxious but prepared, because those patterns are predictable. And predictability equals survival in your subconscious's language. So every time you step into more joy, more peace, more freedom, it doesn't feel natural, it feels like danger. And unless you override that signal with awareness, your subconscious will pull you back into the emotional reality it believes is safer. This is why expansion often feels like anxiety. Not because you're going the wrong way, but because you're finally leaving the cage. Scene 6. How the subconscious sabotages. Let's name the most common ways your subconscious sabotage shows up. 1. Sudden exhaustion. You feel energized during your breakthrough and then drained. You tell yourself you need rest, but really, it's your nervous system shutting down to avoid unfamiliar growth. 2. Unexplained irritation. Small things start to annoy you. You pick fights. You feel snappy. It's the subconscious stirring chaos to bring you back to your emotional baseline. 3. Distraction and numbness. You suddenly need to binge Netflix, scroll for hours, clean your entire house. This isn't laziness. It's a comfort ritual. Your subconscious trying to return you to safe normal. 4th, inner voice of doubt. Thoughts like, "You're not ready. Who do you think you are? This won't last." That's not your intuition. That's your subconscious using fear as a leash. When these patterns show up, don't panic. Recognize them, because recognition gives you choice, and choice gives you power. Scene 7. The void after growth. After every expansion, There's a strange phase that catches people off guard. The void. You feel disconnected. Not fully in your old self, not yet grounded in your new one. It's quiet, confusing, lonely sometimes. Here's the truth. The void is not regression, it's integration. It's the space where your nervous system catches up to your new identity. It's where old patterns die and new ones are being born beneath the surface. Don't try to rush this. Instead, breathe. Anchor your rituals. Speak gently to yourself. Trust the unseen. Because this space, this uncomfortable middle, is where the new self is stabilizing. Scene 8. What to do when you feel pulled back. Let's make this practical. Next time you feel like you're regressing, ask yourself, 1. What's actually happening? Pause. Look at the facts. Is it truly falling apart or just falling into alignment? 2. Is this discomfort familiar? If it feels like an old emotion, it's probably not present moment truth. It's a memory echo. 3. What version of me is speaking right now? Is this voice the future me or the one who's afraid? 4. Can I hold both expansion and fear at once? Because growth isn't the absence of fear. It's the refusal to shrink in its presence. The moment you ask these questions, you interrupt the unconscious pattern, and you reclaim your power to choose differently. Scene 9. Reinforcing the new you. You don't defeat the old self. You starve it by no longer feeding it your attention, your patterns, your energy. At the same time, you reinforce the new you. Through action, do what future you would do, even when you don't feel like it. Through environment, be around those who normalize your expansion. Through repetition, show up daily, even when it feels small. Through celebration, reward yourself for every micro win. This is how identity rewires. This is how the new self becomes familiar. And when it becomes familiar, your subconscious finally lets go of the leash. Scene 10. Growth isn't linear, it spirals. Here's a mindset shift that changes everything. Growth is not a straight line. It's a spiral. You'll revisit the same themes. You'll face the same fears. You'll meet the same emotions, but you'll meet them from higher levels of awareness. Each time you'll respond a little better, a little more powerfully, a little more like the person you're becoming. So don't judge the loop. See it as a spiral staircase. You're not back where you started. You're just passing through a familiar feeling with a brand new self. That's not failure. That's integration. If you've ever felt the pullback after a breakthrough, comment below, I choose to stay expanded. Say it not as a hope, but as a vow to yourself, to your future, to your frequency. Because the pullback doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're finally moving forward. And now you get to decide, will you collapse into the past or stand fully for the self you're becoming? Part 5. Lock it in. How to stay in high frequency and make it your new normal. Scene 1. The real work begins after the breakthrough. You've done what many never do. You've experienced a glimpse of your highest frequency, clarity, peace, alignment. You've broken through doubt, reprogrammed inner scripts, shifted your state. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. Touching a high frequency is easy. Staying there is the work. Anyone can meditate their way into stillness, affirm their way into abundance, breathe their way into calm. But staying in that state day after day in the middle of stress, chaos, or self-doubt, that's mastery, that's embodiment. Scene 2. Why high frequency doesn't stick. Let's talk about what really happens after expansion. You feel amazing, aligned, glowing. Then someone cuts you off in traffic. Your boss sends a rude email. Your bank balance dips. You get triggered, and suddenly, poof, that frequency's gone. You blame the external world. You say, this always happens. You assume the peace was fragile. But the truth is this. High frequency isn't fragile. It's just unfamiliar. And anything unfamiliar will always be rejected by your subconscious, unless you train it into your system. That's the path we're on now. Scene 3. Your new normal is a practice. Let's destroy the myth of instant transformation. Yes, shifts can happen in a moment. But to make that moment permanent, You must repeat it until it becomes muscle memory. Think of your high frequency like a new language. At first, it feels awkward. You have to think about every word. You stumble, translate, forget. But with practice, it becomes fluent. The same is true for inner peace, for confidence, for abundance, for joy. They aren't random states, they're emotional languages, and it's your job now to speak them daily until they speak through you. Scene 4. The baseline frequency formula. Here's the formula that locks in your high frequency state: repetition, familiarity, identity, reality. Let's break that down. 1. State. You intentionally shift into the energy you want: peace, love, power. 2. Repetition. You practice that energy every day, like reps at the gym. 3. Familiarity. Your body starts recognizing it as safe, not foreign. 4. Identity. You stop trying to be that person, you just are. 5. Reality. Life bends around your new baseline. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. This is frequency architecture, and you're the architect. Scene 5. The 3 pillars of frequency maintenance. Let's simplify it. There are only 3 pillars to locking in a high vibration long-term. 1. Emotional hygiene. Every day you're absorbing energy from people, from screens, from your own old thoughts. Ask yourself, what am I carrying that isn't mine? What old pattern just got reactivated? What energy needs to be cleared today? Clean it daily. Don't wait for a breakdown. Use tools like journaling, breathwork, movement, visualization, somatic release. You clean your body. You clean your space. Clean your field. 2. Energetic boundaries. When your frequency rises, not everyone will rise with you. Some will question you. Some will guilt you. Some will try to pull you back into your old identity because it made them comfortable. Set boundaries not from judgment, but from devotion. You don't need to defend your shift. Just hold it. And if you must choose between disappointing others or abandoning yourself, choose yourself every time. 3. Rituals of return. No one stays in high frequency 24/7. That's not the goal. The goal is to return faster. Create anchor points in your day, a song that brings you back, a mantra that grounds you, a breath pattern that resets your nervous system, a scent, an image, a memory, a word. These are your portals back. So even when life knocks you off center, you know exactly how to come home. Scene 6. But what if I fall again? You will, not once, not twice, over and over. That's not failure. That's proof that your nervous system is integrating a new identity. You'll know it's working when you bounce back faster, you react with more grace, you observe instead of absorb, you speak from alignment, not defense. You feel peace even while things are unfinished. So instead of fearing the fall, prepare for it and ask, when I forget who I am, how will I remember again? Make your answer a ritual. Make your ritual a rhythm, and that rhythm will become your new normal. Scene 7. Locking it in with daily frequency. Training. Want a simple practice to hardwire your frequency? Try this every morning for 14 days. Step 1. Feel first, 2 minutes. Sit in silence. Place one hand on your heart. Ask, what energy do I choose to carry today? Let the answer rise. Trust it. Step 2. Speak it out, 1 minute. Say it aloud. I choose to carry peace today. I radiate confidence today. I embody clarity today. Feel the words not as goals, but as decisions. Step 3. Move it into the body, 1 minute. Stand up. Move as if you're already that energy. Stretch. Dance. Walk slowly. Hold a power pose. Breathe. Lock it into your posture, not just your mind. Step 4. Anchor it with one reminder, 30 seconds. Pick a phrase, a gesture, or an object to carry. Something that whispers, remember who you are. This 5-minute ritual isn't fluff. It's vibration setting, just like tuning an instrument. You start every day in harmony. Scene 8. Your reality is just a feedback loop. Look around your life right now. Every pattern, every relationship, every result. It's not a judgment. It's not punishment. It's feedback, a mirror of your dominant frequency. And the most beautiful part? You don't have to fix the mirror. You just adjust the signal, you shift the energy, you raise the standard, and the mirror has no choice but to reflect it. Scene 9. There is no finish line. This is not about arriving, it's about returning, again and again, with more ease, more grace, more love. There is no final level. There's only deeper embodiment. You'll keep rising, and life will keep meeting you. New energy, new mirrors, new frequency, new realities. And as long as you keep choosing alignment, you can trust that everything you're meant to experience is already orbiting around your becoming. Scene 10. Final frequency reminder. Let this be the final reminder. The universe does not respond to what you say. It responds to what you broadcast. So broadcast deliberately. Broadcast from your heart, not your history. Broadcast from your soul, not your wounds. You are the signal. You are the sender. You are the frequency. And now, you know how to stay there. If this entire series has shifted you, grounded you, reminded you, comment below, this is my new frequency. Let the world feel your signal. Not just today, every day. Because this isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been, beneath the noise. You've returned. You've risen. Now stay and watch your world catch up to your vibration.